Hey guys, it's Fultoncards here, live and direct from Brooklyn, New York City. And check this out, man. Always trying to do something a bit special, a bit different. In front of me today, I have a box of 1995-1996 Parkhurst 66-67 Parkies Hockey Hobby box. Look at this chunky monkey. This thing is old school and funky. So configuration, 8 cards per pack, 24 packs per box, 192 cards total, plus 1 coin per pack, I believe, base set 1 through 150. There are the base, the all-stars, the trophy winners, the inactions, the team leaders, the Stanley Cup playoff cards, and there are coins, 1 per pack, man. And the coins, I believe, have the same numbering as the players. There's no short prints of those. There are 5 black coins randomly inserted honoring Bobby Orr and Gordie Howe. I think there is actually a Bobby Orr and Gordie Howe auto, but it's a bucket list sort of hit. It's really hard to hit. So what's notable about 1966-67? Well, it would have been the Topps cards that look like television sets with the wood paneling and so on, which would be the rookie year of Bobby Orr. The other notable thing, I think, for you Leafs fans would be it's the last time that the Leafs won the Cup, and I am not saying anything negative about that. I keep on defending the Leafs online, defending Dubas and all that. I love the team formation. I don't think one bad pass by Galchenyuk or an injury to Tavares or Matthews missing the net in OT means the team sucks. It does not mean the team sucks. So anyway, it's been, I hate all the disparaging comments about the Leafs, but so what's kind of cool about this is about the time the Leafs won the Cup. So really quickly, the Parkies went from 1951-52 all the way through 63-64. They came in like packs for 5 cents with gum inside them. And of course, later on, they were bought by ITG and by Upper Deck. And there are also coins in here. Now, the coins were issued in 61-62. They were the Shirriff coins. Shirriff is like a company that went back to the 1880s, if you can believe that. I think they had baking powder and essential oils and ice cream toppings and jelly powders and marmalades and all that stuff. Eventually, they were bought by Kellogg's. And after Kellogg's, they were bought by, I think it was the Smucker company that bought them eventually. So interesting stuff, guys. So these go back to the 61-62 coins, but of course it's 66-67, and we have a Bob Nevin plastic coins with the NHL logo on them as well. So we'll be looking for Bobby Orr and Stan Mikita and Gordie Howe, and Bobby Hull would be our first card. So let's do it, guys. This is awesome. Look how beautiful these cards are. So here's the Bobby Hull. Subsequent to it is the Bobby Orr. Amazing, amazing cards, guys. And they look a ton like the Parkhurst cards from the 1950s, and that's what they're supposed to be. They're like a missing link set. All right, so there's a Stan Mikita, and we have a Warham, and we have a Ron Murray, and look at this thing here. So this would happen to be a team scoring leader card, Murray Oliver, as well as a Pierre Pilote, and our first Habs card would be the Ted Harris, who was a D on your Habs. Tim Hortons was a D too. And who won the Cup in 66-67? Of course, it was the Leafs, and the prior year was the Habs who beat the Red Wings. All right, and who won the Conn Smythe? The Conn Smythe would have been, oh, look at this, John Beliveau. That's really awesome. It would have been Dave Keon for the Leafs. Very, very nice. And Crozier won for Detroit in defeat against the Habs. So let's go. So we have a young Paul Henderson. Oh, these are amazing. Backstrom, Bathgate. We have a checklist, kind of cool looking checklist. And we have the Henri Richard, who would have been about 30 at the time. This is really cool, man. I'm loving these. This is just amazing. And there we have our Roger Crozier Ellis card. So this, of course, would be an in-action card. And as I said, he won the Conn Smythe. Only 5 players have won the Conn Smythe in defeat. So we have the J.C. Tremblay, we have the Stamkowski, Marshall, we have, oh, so these are cool. These are the Stanley Cup final cards, so of the previous year, obviously. So Habs over at 4-2. Bill Goyette, another action card, Boston's Young Stars. So Bobby Orr, and we have a Bruce Gamble, and we have a Selby card. And of course, the goaltenders for the Leafs, it wasn't Gamble. I think the goaltenders for the Leafs when they won the Cup would have been Johnny Bower and Sawchuk, of course. Sawchuk, I think, won the Leafs. He won the Cup in the early 50s. So for him to win the Cup in the late 60s, I mean, that's a huge gap. So Harper, Jean-Guy Talbot, Bergman, Boivin, McDonald, Jacques Laperriere, great defense for us, and Bob Nevin. All right, I'm gonna have to really rip through them. It's hard to read the names because my thumb's on the names. Ari, there's young Serge Savard. He did win the Conn Smythe one year. Scoring leader of Bobby Rousseau. These are just amazing. Roberts, there's a young Roberts. I love these, man. These are just so beautiful looking. I can't get over it. Gilles Tremblay. And there's the Jean Rattel, who I guess a lot of people are familiar with in Boston and, of course, with the Rangers. So we have the Wayne Hillman, Al McNeil, and look at this card here. So we have the Gump Worsley. Gump Worsley was the goaltender for the Habs when they won the Cup against Detroit. And that would be a Glenn Hall All-Star card. Really, really cool, man. I'm loving these. Armstrong and Earl Ingerfield. And there's the Terry Sawchuk, the aforementioned Terry Sawchuk with the Leafs. And I think Boston's goalie back in that era would have been early Jerry Cheevers, but also Bernie Perron played with them. And the other one was Eddie Johnston, who was made famous on Cheers as one of the characters. So really, really cool stuff, guys. So here's the Norris Trophy winner of Laperriere. And there's the Jean Beliveau. These are just fantastic. So there's the Crozier and there's the Rogie Vachon card. JC Tremblay and Dick Duff and another checklist. All right, just gonna kick through them at this point. Hoping for some black ones of these and hoping for some, Gordie Howe and Bobby Orr cards. So look at that, man. Gump, Stumps, Golden Jet. That's amazing. Bob Nevin, scoring leaders. These are just fantastic looking cards there. There's Rod Gilbert. And there is the semifinal of the Habs and the Leafs. So these, of course, would be from the prior season, 65-66. Of course, the Leafs beat the Habs when they won the Cup in 67, 4-2. Chico Mackey, man, these are just unbelievable. Joe Watson, Stapleton, Nestorenko, Smith. And there's the John Ferguson. This would be senior. Junior was the GM of the Leafs. And there we have a Gordie Howe and a Bobby Rousseau right wing card. So these are all-star cards. So 66-67, scoring race. Stan Nikita won the scoring race, won the heart. But he would have been like in his 20s. What's so amazing about it is Phil Esposito would have been 24 years old at this point. So Pitt Martin, there's an All-Stars I. Richard, so that's Henri Richard. Conley, there's the Phil Esposito. So this is like a 24-year-old Phil Esposito, 23-year-old. Really, really fantastic cards. And there's a Ralph Backstrom. So Bobby Hull would have been second in scoring, I think, in 66-67. Norm Ullman. Gordie Howe would have been fifth in scoring. And, you know, Henri Richard would have been 10th. So, you know, a lot of people don't really remember him for his scoring, but man, did he produce for a long time. Armstrong. So there's the Gordie Howe base card. And there's Phil fills the crease. So that's the young Phil Esposito with the Blackhawks. He played for original 6 teams, as we all know. Yeah, well, everybody remembers from Boston and the Rangers. And there's the Gordie Howe scoring leaders. And he's older at this point. He must be about 37, 38. All right, just gonna rip right through them at this point. Hampson, Roberts, Bruce McGregor, Fontaine, Gilles Tremblay again. So there's definitely duplicates, absolutely duplicates. And this is the trophy winners and another trophy winners of Alex Delvecchio, an older looking Alex Delvecchio. And I think Bobby Hull won the scoring race the prior year and Stan Mikita was second the prior year. So they kind of swapped places. These are just, these tokens, man. I mean, they're unbelievable. And there is the Tim Horton. So it's really interesting stuff. I like how they have the color-coded, color-matched. There's the Howl, and there's the Frank Mahovlich, who was also on the Habs, and there's the Ellis with an early helmet. And this is pretty cool too, man. I absolutely am loving this. So what does it say on the back here? Les Canadiens protègent. So the Habs are protecting is what they're trying to say. Beautiful stuff. And that would be Rogie Vachon in nets. A young Rogie Vachon. Crazy. So hoping for like a black chip poker chip. I'm gonna add these to the poker table. All right, there's Stanfield, there's Claude LaRose, there's Del Vecchio, and look at the Charlie Hodge card wearing a mask. And here we have a Stan Mikita and Jean Beliveau. Beautiful stuff. And there is the Gump Worsley, as well as the Dave Keon, the Conn Smythe Dave Keon. So all these guys were on the Leafs Cup winning team. Eddie Shack was on that team, Frank Mahovlich was on that team, Alan Stanley was on that team, he was an assistant captain, I guess alternate captain is what I'm trying to say. Bob Nevin, and there again we have the Glenn Hall and Gump Worsley. Really, really cool stuff, but tons of dupes is the problem at this point. There's Maniago, that's pretty cool, man. Look at that. I love all the stuff, no helmets, man. Just let your freak flags fly back in the day. Really, really nice stuff. So 66, 67, I think Bobby Orr was third best scorer on Boston his first year, something to that. I think Pitt Martin was up there, and I would have assumed it would have been Johnny Busick would have been their top scorer. Stanfield, another one of the Belliveaux. They're really dynamic looking cards, man. And there is the Roger Crozier. So that you see so many duplicates at this point. It's just a duplicate fest. But look at that. So we have the Gump Worsley and the Charlie Hodge as the goaltenders because it's post Jacques Plante. He didn't play those years, actually. There were 2 years he didn't play. And then when he came back, he played with St. Louis. And of course, the Maple Leafs in Boston, I think, was the last team he was on. Or the Edmonton Oilers, actually, was the last team. But the Oilers were in the WHA at that point. So there is the Eddie Shack coin. Very nice stuff. And there is a super young Cournoyer. And there you have a Bobby Hull. So this is an all-star with Frank Mahovlich, Hillman. I mean, these cards are just so beautiful. Frank Mahovlich and Bob Pulford. Just Red Kelly. Just good stuff, man. And there is the dynamic Henri Richard wearing his number 16. All right. I mean, 11 Stanley Cups as a player. That is just bonkers. So Kent Douglas, and of course, all of them have the Montreal, all of them have the NHL logo. So they're shields, if you will. And so there, I love the Terry Sawchuk. I mean, much older at this point. Jean Rattel, bunch of dupes. Okay, a Kurtenbach. Very nice. And I like how they have the logos. So of course, these were only the original 6 teams, and the only other issue from 66, 67 would have been the Bobby Orr rookie cards, which are, I have that set actually. It's one of my favorite sets, obviously. Such a beautiful set. Continuing on, so there's the Johnny Busick, Ken Hodge. These are just beautiful stuff. So there's the Art Ross, Bobby Hull winning the Art Ross, as well as the Andy Bathgate. So not a black chip, I believe, not a single black chip yet. Oh, there's the black chip. So these are rare, these things. And look at this one. Look at that. So this would happen to be, I'm guessing this is like a baby Gordie Howe card. I'm guessing that's like a baby Gordie Howe. So yeah, we hit one of the black chips. That's great. Very cool. And there he is at 37, 38. And look at that, the Johnny Bauer. I have so many of his autos, it's crazy. So I think that's considered like an insert coin, if you will. I know there's actually mail-in sets from this stuff, first team all-stars, scoring leaders, and trophy winner mail-in sets as well. Are they considered mail-in sets? Maybe they were originally mail-in sets, I don't really know. There wasn't much information on the box actually, there's very little information on the box. So anyways, and look at this early Jerry Cheevers. Unbelievable, maskless before his famous mask. And there's a semifinal of Detroit and Chicago, and I assume that's Glenn Hall there. Doug Moan, and scoring leaders of Bobby Hull. So if you look at the back of this, something I haven't been doing, is you notice that it does have the scoring leaders on the back. So that's it. So the subsequent year, Stan Mikita was first and Bobby Hull was second. All right, and another Gump Worsley. And the Larry Jeffrey, and all hands on deck. So these are so much like the 1950s cards, the in-action shots, usually at the end of the checklist. Yeah, really, really cool stuff, guys. All right, so Mackenzie, Westfall, Chico Mackey. There's another one of the Bobby Hulls. There's the Eddie Johnston. So again, they use Eddie as a character in Cheers, sort of based after him. And there's Dennis Hull, Bobby Hull's brother, Stan Mikita, and Jean Beliveau, which I whipped to the ground. And 2 packs left, man. I guess we're not going to hit one of those crazy rare autos. I do believe there's autos. I do believe there's rare Bobby Orr autos in some of these boxes, in a couple of these boxes. So we have a Glenn Hall coin, and Bob Holford, Jacques Laperriere, and Alan Stanley, RD, Larry Hillman. So yeah, man, and there's the Bobby Bond. This is just so cool. As well as the Peter Mahovlich. So the younger brother, both these brothers played on the Habs. Oh wow, Gordie Howe card at the back. I don't think it's an insert card. That would just be too lucky. Or maybe it is. Oh, it is. It's one of the insert cards. So we did hit one of the Gordie Howe cards. Those are hard to hit. I don't even know because it doesn't say. There's no odds for this stuff. Okay, so Ed Van Imp. It could be an auto. There are actually autos, but I would not bank on it. That would just be bonkers. And Gordie, Lou and Gordie, Ari. There's the Glenn Hall. Look at that Glenn Hall card. What these cards do is they actually mimic some of the cards from the 1960s with the sort of hand-drawn backgrounds. I can show you what I mean by that. That Gordie Howe at the back is like beehive cards. That's what they're supposed to look like. All right, so we have a Dennis DeJordy. This is so much fun. And we have another one of these cool all-star defense ones. And who do we have? We have Pierre Pilote, and we have Pat Stapleton. And then we have the Bernie Perron. Look at that, Bernie Perron. Probably a first-year card. And then we have the Mr. Hockey card. So this is just one of the inserts. They do have autos of these, believe it or not, and this obviously is not one of them. So there you go. And I'm guessing this is exactly the card of what that the black chip was like. So that's what this is, right? All right, so that's very cool. So there are some rare autos I know of, and these, of course, are so much like the Beehive cards that they reintroduced around, what was it, the early 2000s, right? Around 2005, 2006, 2007. Really cool, right? So that's basically it, guys. Really, really fun rip. I completely recommend, buying this stuff. I also recommend, if you can, getting the 1966-67 top set, which I own. It's one of my favorite sets of all sets. Of course, it's like the Gretzky year. It's such an important year in the hobby. We probably collected the entire set, 150 card set, and 192 cards within the box. So we probably, depending on dupes, received the entire set. Of course, we did not receive the entire token set because that's an impossibility, 1 per pack. And we received 2 of the inserts. They were the Gordie Howe inserts. Unfortunately, not any of the Bobby Orr inserts. In fact, these 2 inserts are the same insert. Yeah, man. And unfortunately, we didn't hit the auto version. There are some rare auto versions of the Gordie Howe and the Bobby Orr Beehive-like inserts. So I'm Fultoncards, guys. Please be sure to sub, like, hashtag Dryden. I'm going to do, I think, what am I going to do next? Topps OPG Archives. I think you guys requested it. So I'll probably do that next. Plus, I'm going to mix in, of course, some of the new releases because we have some new releases coming up. So, guys, I will be Fultoncards. Please be sure to sub, like, hashtag Dryden. Fultoncards live and direct from a place called Brooklyn, New York.
Turn the wine.